overextended himself. He's had to waste a lot of marines and a lot of minerals on turrets, and really he hasn't even been able to take advantage of having that base because there's very few SCVs there. He lost a lot to Mutas harass, and it's really hard for him to defend this natural.
Yeah, at this point, if I was Flash, I would probably try to go up to 7 barracks or something like Firebat Hero and try to move out against these Mulists because the window of opportunity for Flash is running and running away quickly.
Yeah, if you just saw Flash's expression there, it looked like he was slightly worried. He hasn't even moved out of his natural this entire game, and the hive is already up for Jaedong. And Jaedong's coming in here, finding a window of opportunity, and he's going to be able to pick off some units over here.
And oh my god, Jaedong killed all those Marines that were attacking his own Mulist, so just showing how fearsome his Mulists are.
Yeah, and right now Jaedong actually has two control groups of mutas. They're all gathering up here, so at the very top, and I don't know if they're gonna cut. They're actually gonna engage this group of Marines, and it's actually gonna work. I don't see the upgrades, but actually it didn't work. He did get fended off.
Yeah, but I don't think Flash is going to have his science vessels in time to defend against the Guardians, so at this point, things aren't looking very good for Jaedong at all.
Actually, I don't. You mean Flash, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
but right now I actually saw that the starport, the add-on, was actually flashing. So looks like Flash is going to be getting wraiths with cloak. He probably knows that he's just so behind right now, and he's actually moving out with these Marines right here, and this is forcing Jaedong to have to defend.
Yeah, Jaedong there, he probably shouldn't try Mulist, Michael, but rather just get all of his Mulists together, maybe a few Zerglings, and just slaughter this group of M&M halfway through the map.
Yeah, and these mutas are engaging the Marines right now, and he's losing a lot of mutas actually. There's not even that many Marines, but he killed a lot of mutas. But really, that push isn't going to be able to do much now because the majority of it was taken out, and the top left is being taken by Jaedong right now too.
Yeah, what we've seen from Jaedong this whole game is that he's just grinding and grinding Flash's Marines down into dust with his Mulist micro, and so when Flash moved out, he didn't have any units to attack with at all.
Yeah, and Jaedong actually got +1 armor on his mutas, and these wraiths are coming out right now, and if it works, if some kind of miracle happens, oh wow, those Guardians just got scanned, but it doesn't really matter because Flash doesn't have any Marines left to take out those cocoons, and Jaedong did delay those Guardians because he knew he had a pretty good advantage. But what do you think right now? Because Jaedong, I don't know if he's scouted that Wraiths are coming, and
Yeah,
he does not want to waste those Guardians on Wraiths.
yeah, and Jaedong now finally knows that Flash has Wraiths, but I don't think he can defend that lone Overlord against these Wraiths. But then again, Flash only has 2 Wraiths, so we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah, and these Wraiths are taking out the Guardians. They're taking out the Overlord right now, and right now there's no detection right here. And it seems like most of these Guardians will actually be killed right here.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking good for Jaedong. His Overlords are slow. He's going to lose all of these Guardians, but at the same time, Flash doesn't have very many units to use anyways.
Yeah, and wow, a huge migration of Overlords coming over here, and there's only 3 Wraiths. And those Guardians, even though they all got slaughtered before they did too much damage, they still did a pretty good amount of damage. And they took out most of the SCVs, or forced most of them to run away. And now the top left and 6 o'clock position are being taken by Jaedong.
Yeah, and Flash just doesn't have enough units to attack these Mulists. I mean, his Marines there, he had bad micro, he moved out at the wrong time, and he's just going to lose all of his units to these Mulists.
Definitely, at this point, it's a really bad position for Flash, and he should be conceding quite soon. He's getting his science facility right now, and if I was him, I really couldn't see much point in playing this anymore, because he really is really far behind at this point, with only 2 bases to about 4. And another smart move by Jaedong, he's actually sending those injured Mutalisks to morph into Guardians, because this heals them completely.
Yeah, and at this point, if I were Flash, I would rethink the way I played this game. I mean, maybe go for like a 1 base fast vessel build against these 2 hash mutas. But yeah, in retrospect, retrospect is always more clear than the game.
Yeah, and right now, if you took a look at the natural of Jaedong, he only had 3 drones mining there, which really proves that he used this low economy build and it really caught Flash off guard, and he's just really good at using those low economy builds like this.
Yeah, we see Flash here with some really good Wraith Micro taking out all these Guardians. But Overlord speed is done, so these mutants are going to be able to take out those Wraiths rather easily.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure what the upgrades is for those mutas, but basically it's going to be really hard for Flash to move out, and sooner or later he's just going to get overrun by masses of units.
Interestingly enough, I don't know how many mutants Jaedong has, so if Flash can get enough Marines and medics, oh, actually, never mind, there's more mutants there.
Yeah, bad move there, moving through that narrow choke. Most of his Marines got slaughtered right there, and now his natural is going to be um, pretty much raised by these Guardians.
Yeah, at this point, if I were Flash, I'd try to sneak around some Marines and attack all of Jaedong's expansions at once, or try something crazy like that, because it's definitely not looking good at all.
Yeah, Jaedong hasn't been forced to make any defenses at all this game because he's just been on the offensive the whole game. Hasn't been pressured at all, and he's just displaying an awesome amount of micromanagement, and he's just got so many. He's got 4 gases right now, and he's just gonna be able to mass units right now, and Flash won't be able to do anything about it. He's only got 1 base left, and I think his main is just about to be mined out. So he's pretty much being starved to death right now.
Yeah, and if I were Flash right now, I'd think about what I'd do next game, because this game's pretty much over.
Yeah, you can see he's not giving up because this is a really important series and he wants to go and continue on. And it's just not going to work out for this game, I don't think. And Jaedong's proceeding to take the rest of the map.
Yeah, and this list is looking very, very painful for Flash. I mean, he's still making Wraiths and Marines, but it's not looking good at all. I mean, we can look forward to the next game, which is going to be on Loki, which is uh, a pretty balanced map for Terran versus Zerg.
Yeah, what's interesting is that statistically, Terran has an advantage over Zerg on Loki. However, it seems that most players, it was kind of a fluke. It was really good Terran player versus a pretty crappy Zerg player. So it's really hard for Terran on that map. It's also really pretty hard for Zerg on that map, but it's not that balanced.
Yeah, and especially Blue Storm is only being played once this series, or else Flash probably wouldn't have much of a chance.
Yeah, Flash did a good job though. He did thumb down this map because he knew he didn't have that big of a chance right here on this map, especially with Jaedong's record on this map, as well as just how the map's laid out. It's not a very good map for Terran, so this is probably the most likely reason why he thumbed it down. And looks like this is the last ditch effort, and it is GG. So
GG.
Flash does lose. It's 1-1.